on that stainless steel tanker. I'm running for Richland County Council from District 1, which is Dutch Fork, Chapin, Ballantyne, Irmo, parts of Little Mountain that also are in Richland County. I am unopposed in November, however, I have heard rumblings that there's an individual or two out there telling people, write in someone else's name. Hopefully they won't be successful with that. While I won't be here tomorrow to give you information about this 1% sales tax, I asked Eric if maybe I could mention it tonight. And the reason I won't be here is we have a regular council meeting and I make sure I attend all of those. The 1% sales tax. There are 3 of us that are Republicans on Richland County Council, and that's Val Hutchinson and Greg Pierce along with myself. We have very similar views on that particular tax. They're not exactly the same, but they're similar. As a Keep the Buses Rolling campaign has turned into a real nightmare. It's gone from what I feel a real contrived Democratic contraption to be able to get over $1 billion in the course of 25 years. What was initially a 7 or 8 year program to actually keep the buses going. Now, if you've got sewer pipe running out in front of your home or business and it belongs to Richland County, you're not going to call the federal government and say, the pipe's broken, you're going to call the county. And they'll tell you to call the county. And that's what we have here. All the projects, the road projects, which consist of 2/3 of the $1 billion will go toward state and federal roads. Now, how can you increase bus transportation if you actually increase the ease of traveling on the roads? You're not going to do it. You're not going to force the people you need to give up their vehicles. They're going to keep on. So that's one problem right there. While Richland County is running an educational campaign, it is telling you all the pros and not the cons. There's a project list that is as long as both my arms outstretched. Yet there is no pecking order. There is not a priority list at this point in time. And the Democrats are saying, give us the $1 billion, and after we get it, we'll tell you what projects will be done when. And yours may not actually get to the top of the list. I was removed from the Richland County, from the CMRTA board, because I was always questioning their spending, questioning their budgets, and voting against a lot of what they were asking for. Instead, a Democratic person was put in there. So I'm just giving you some reasons why we need to get Republicans in there and get more Republicans on Congress, on council, and in Congress too, on council. And we do have one running down in the lower Richland County area. Shirley, is it? I believe that's the first I've seen her or heard her name was tonight. It'd be nice to give her some support down there. So that's just a little bit as to what I see as the problems being on council with only 3 Republicans and the majority of Democratic individuals. So if anybody does want to talk further, I can go on and on about that 1% tax. Personally, I've been the only one in the last 2 or 3 years that consistently keeps voting no, 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 and I'm outvoted usually 10-1 every time. But we need to do something about it. The county bailed out the city twice before with the buses. They'll do it again if this referendum doesn't pass. There's no doubt in my mind they won't do it. I've yet to hear anybody from the city, be it the mayor or city council, come forward to give any opinion on this ballot. We're a week away, and I haven't seen or heard anything from these people. They're letting it fall on Richland County to handle this. Unfortunately, if you don't know this figure, 75% of the bus service runs within the city of Columbia. And 75% of it is paid for by unincorporated Richland County. Now, that doesn't sound very fair to me, but we can keep the buses rolling without that referendum. We just need to cut the actual pork out of that bill and come up with a justifiable means to do it. Yes, sir, Joe.
Real quick question. I understand that you're supposed to issue bonds on this. If you issue bonds and they come in at 4%, that's going to be more interest on the bond than the principal. So no one's talked about how to pay the interest back.
And that's something else that hasn't been talked about. When we're having this last group that came forward and said we're going to have all this money and create all these jobs, Right now, the bid process is still as it was. Low bidder gets it. So we could have 600-some million dollars actually going to other states if their bid is lower than the company's bidding here.
And how do you pay the interest back?
And how do you pay the interest back?
How did y'all suggest doing it?
Well, that hasn't come up. There was no suggestion on that. Nor was there, other than the fact that we're going to be paying the tax folks their cream right off the top, which is quite a bit too. So, but I'll be glad to give you my card, give you my phone call, my phone number. You can write it down now if you want it. It's 932-7919. 932-7919. Leave a message. I'll call you back. Go to the county website. Feel free to email me. I'll be glad to talk to you, groups, or anyone else.
You know, we have 3 Republicans on council. If I'm not wrong, not incorrect, if my memory serves me right, there was only 1 vote opposed to putting this thing on the ballot.
That's correct. That was mine.
That was you?
That was mine.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I want to say how disappointed I am in our other 2 Republicans. Yes. Because they should have voted along with you.
Well, I was hoping they would have, but I didn't get that
No
cooperation.
excuse. We're going to defeat you.
Thank you.
By the way, Greg Pierce sent his